It started about a year ago, and I was the guest of Patrick Quirk for a visit with him, and we're hiking one day, and he turned to me and he said, you know, Wayno, the river camp which he visited 5 or 6 years ago, he said that I own with my partners, he said it'd be very nice for me and you if you rented it for a week. And I said, Patrick, I'd love to do that. And he said, in fact, why don't I rent it for the week when I turn 65, a year from now? Wouldn't it be nice if I invited a number of my friends, closest friends, to experience something that in their lifetime they probably never have an opportunity to experience? She got to go down where her eyes used to be. One turn and I learned what it really means to see. It's the magical mystery kind. Must be alive. What we're doing is not going on safari. Safari means you go and you stay in a luxury lodge with flat screen TVs, and they serve you luxury food, and then you have to get into a vehicle and drive all over the place until you finally find an animal to look at. And what we'll be doing is not driving to see the animals, we're going to be living with the animals. 60 days, nobody better pinch me. Wimbashi River Camp, I think it's the only licensed camp in the Zambian National Park, which is a vast, vast preserve of wildlife. And I don't know how Patrick acquired this particular thing and kept this license. I mean, it could be that he, donated a gazillion dollars to the Zambia Treasury, or I don't know how he's done it, but he's got this property, and it's very remote. It's on the Zambezi River, which I think is the second most important river in Africa next to the Nile. We will be staying at the river camp, which is right on the Zambezi, and the only real luxury you have here is you've got a toilet and a shower. But generally speaking, you sit around the camp and the animals come walking around.
To Africa.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going on safari.
Then making new friends.
Slick back hair, suspenders. I swore I walked onto the set of Wall Street 2 and here was Gord Gecko that I was about to be interviewed by.
I met Dino through a mutual friend, Day and Henson, and Day said, hey, we're both going to be in Vancouver, you got to meet this guy, you'll love him.
First met Wayne through Colin Adair. He was giving a presentation in Montreal, to which I went to see if I could make a small fortune through his genius.
I have to talk about his clothes. It was all puffy. He had suspenders. He had a big camel coat, and he came up in an elevator, and I was with then Jackie, and he was a big impression on me. I thought he was like the richest man in the world. Never saw anybody so well groomed.
We were working at Wood Gundy together, and completely different than now, Mr. Grunge, with the skulls and everything else. He was Mr. Preppy, double-breasted blue suit, pinstripe shirt, quarter Vance shoes, gray flannels.
And he was this bigger than life character, and it was quite remarkable to meet him then.
First meet Wayne. It was probably in my own house in Montreal. Gord and I do dinner parties for Wayne whenever he's in Montreal, and we bring Montreal businessmen in and let Wayne tell them his professional story.
When I first met Wayne, it was in Montreal because we both came from there, and I still do, and we lived there as young guys. I thought he had, I guess my first impression was that he was very friendly, was very prepared to get in a conversation with you, discuss interesting things.
What was your first impression when you met him?
That he was larger than life.
I liked him immediately.
Nowadays, I realized he wasn't Gord Gecko. He was just really Charlie Sheen's mentor. And so he's probably taught Charlie everything he knows today.
Wayne's very friendly, and he says, "Hi, welcome, have a look around." And we're in his sort of boardroom, his conference room, and it's very casual. He picks up something out of a bag and looks at it and says, "This is cool." And I'm walking around the room, and I see a photo on the wall of a race car with his company logo. I sponsor a team, and I'll be down in Long Beach next weekend. He said, "I love the races. I go to the races all the time." He's like, "Great, meet me in Long Beach."
Whether you've known Wayne for 30 years or 30 minutes, his welcoming nature, doesn't matter who it is, everyone's welcome into Wayne's home.
He's very generous. We have similar tastes. He enjoys good things. Cars, women, 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 watches, women, cars, women.
The three I admire the most about Wayne. He's generous. He's incredibly generous with his time and patience.
Out of the box, different.
He's responsible for turning my son from being a wild university student into a very solid businessman.
Wayne keeps us all young. Watching him flip a Ferrari every 6 months and race around town and gargle down the Viagra like they're breath mints.
Huge heart. He's generous beyond anybody's description of him, but it goes so far beyond that. He's a great friend. He's a loyal friend. He cares about people.
Heard all the rumors before I went there. Watch out, this guy's a shark. But really, at the end of the day, he's an unbelievable guy, and took me under his wing and taught me everything I know today. It was fantastic.
What's special about him? I guess the two things that stand out are his generosity of spirit and his generosity of sharing.
He is a great counterbalance that the rest of us married guys can point out when we're in trouble with our wives. You can say, "Listen, at least I'm not Wayne. I mean, that guy flips wives like I go through socks."
He can laugh at himself, which I find amazing. I'm someone, certainly when I got to Dean's Night, found it really hard to do that. But Wayne's showed me through the years that that's the best way to be, is you got to be able to make fun of yourself.
I love when you get that cackle of a laugh of his. It's just kind of like, it's just perfect, you know? No one else does it. The little hawk nose of his tweaks up, and he's a great foil for people that love to tell jokes.
And that generosity covers right across his personality. It covers who he is, how he does business, how he relates, and how he throws a party like this that we get to celebrate his 65th.
One of the greatest experiences I had, and I hope we get another chance to see something like this. We were out on a night drive one night, and Patrick could hear noises, and he spotted 2 lions lying on the bough of a tree about 25 feet up in the air. And the lions were eating some kind of a deer or an elk. And every once in a while, they're chomping away, and food, so the animal would drop to the ground, and down below you had a pack of hyenas eating the scraps. I mean, a remarkable, remarkable sight.